Shakar Hala, Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Brakatah Yahweh, Brakatah Yahweh Shai. I'd like to give double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone that teach this truth, which I believe lined up with the scriptures, and prophecy is 100% truth. I pray that this lesson be edifying to the Akrium and Aquaths that's out there, the few Aquaths that's in this truth. That's the brothers and the few women that's in this truth. And the title of this lesson is going to be called The Monkey Trap. And the monkey trap, I Google monkey trap, and monkey trap, a cage containing a banana or any type of shiny object, or a hole large enough for a monkey's hand to fit in, but not large enough for a monkey's fist clutch around the possession, whatever's inside that trap, like whatever it is, to come out. Anecdotally, used to catch monkeys that lack the intellect to let go of the banana and run away. It's really not the intellect, but his greed is what compels him to hold on to the item instead of letting it go and run away. We're going to go to Psalms 35, verse 7. And if you ever look it up, monkey trap, you can Google, you see this African guy, he goes out there, takes like a coconut, it has a hole in it, and he has it chained to a tree. And then, the monkeys are watching, and he goes there and he takes the item and puts it inside the coconut. So as soon as the Hamite, he walks off, here comes the monkey. He goes in there, he's curious, and he reaches in there, he sees that whatever's in there he wants, and he grabs it. And once he grabs it, he can't pull his hand out. And then here comes the guy, he walks up, and that monkey won't let go of that item, and he's pretty much entrapped himself. So I want to kind of use that to explain how we're caught in a lot of traps that's laid out for us, traps and snares that are laid out for our people here in Babylon the Great. Psalms chapter 35, verse 7. For without cause have they hid from me their net in a pit, which without cause they have digged for my soul. So they have all type of traps out here for our people, man. The welfare trap, that's been going on for a while, which helped dismantle the black, so-called black families, not only black, but Hispanic and Native American families, And that's called the welfare trap, where they got generations and generations of women that raising these kids without a father in the household, and she fell for that trap, and so it just passes on from one generation to the next. And now you see how the effect of it in a lot of these hoods and neighborhoods, that's in these ghetto communities, man, where all this violence and high crime rate is going on, and all this, these teenage pregnancies, man. It's just total chaos, man. Nothing but a ball of confusion that was created by Esau Edom, man. And that was one of the traps. Not only that, but you have the drug trap where they come in there to the hoods. They redline jakes into these communities. And once they get them in these communities, man, they locked in. There's no jobs, that's going to pay accordingly to what, that's beneficial, that they're going to be able to sustain themselves. And so what they do, they come in and dump a bunch of drugs in there, and then let the chaos begin. And then they wait for Jake to say to the point where he had enough, and he want Edom to come in there and fix the problem. And his problem is locking up all the Jakes, and these Jakes that have kids, and locking them up, putting them in prison, man, and giving them football years. So you're repeating the cycle all over again. They drop the guns in there, they drop the drugs in there, and then you know what's going to happen. So all those is traps that's been laid for our people, man. Psalms 119, verse 119. The wicked have laid a snare for me, yet I erred not from thy precepts. And precepts are our laws, man. So any of these precepts, man, that's what's going to keep us out of these traps, You go through Psalms, and it tells you a lot of things about how you're supposed to conduct yourself, certain people who you supposed to deal with, that's going to keep you out of these traps, man. How you supposed to carry yourself. These laws, statutes, and commandments, man, keeps us on a disciplined routine, man. That it keeps us out of these traps and these snares that's laid out before us. It's discipline us to be circumspect, man. You're always aware of things and your surroundings around you when you follow these laws, statutes, commandments that our Father had laid out for us. He knew this time was going to happen. And, and right now, we're under the worst time ever, man. Right now, our oppressors has us pretty much wedged up in the corner, man. They corralled us up in the corner, and now they're just dumping everything at us right now. And not to mention the drugs, the guns, the trap music, the violence, the attacking the kids, taking your kids from you, and then they got them in these schools where they got these transformers coming in that's reading to them, man, and all these abominable things, man, that's to entrap and ensnare our people into wickedness, man, into sin, so they can destroy us. And they're always coming out with these shots now, where they trying to give you a shot for everything that's everything in the book. And those shots, a lot of them are designed to destroy you, man. They're not here to help you. Your enemy is never going to be here to help you, believe that. And you do have an enemy. Psalms 141 verse 9. Keep me from the snares which they have laid for me, and the gins of the workers of iniquity. So a lot of those things that, these things that entrap us in sin, those are to keep us from our power, man. So like adultery, fornication, just eating abominable foods, just doing things that goes against what our Lord Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua has directed us to do. They try to get you to do the opposite, man. So they know that iniquity and keeping us in sin is going to keep us from our power, man. Psalms 142 verse 3. When my spirit was overwhelmed within me, then thou knewest my path. In the way wherein I walk, have they privily laid a snare for me. So the Lord Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua, he knows the walk that we're going to be going through, man. He already has everything detailed out for us, man. The only thing we have to do is just ask for mercy, man, and repent and do what he asks us to do, man. A lot of times, when we start getting off that path of righteousness, man, he's going to come down and give you a swift judgment, man. And we pray that he has mercy on giving us that judgment, man, to help correct us, man, when he comes to discipline us. Just like a parent with his child, like my son goes off and he's just doing things that he's not supposed to do. There's going to be some repercussions for it, man. I'm not going to abuse him, but I'm going to punish him in a way to remind him that, no, you can't do this. And that's the same with Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua does with us, man, because he cares about us, man. So he's going to discipline us as we go off and we do things that's going to keep us off that path of righteousness. Jeremiah chapter 5 verse 26. For among my people are found wicked men, they lay wait. As he that setteth snares, they set a trap, they catch men. And like I say, on them corners, man, they, mainly right in the drug area, like in the late 90s and early 2000s, man, like when the blocks was really hot, man, they had jakes out there on all the corners, man, just nothing but a trap. And they entrapped a lot of jakes, man. During that time, they came out with the Joe Biden crime bill, the nigger woman's president, because she's the mainly ones that put him into the presidential seat. And he's the one that helped, he brags about he was the one that came up with that crime bill, man. But they laid a trap. They knew the CIA pumped the drugs in the neighborhood. They dropped the guns off in the neighborhood. They turned the neighborhoods into like an OK Corral, man. Shit was just off the chain, mainly in the 90s and the 80s, and almost like it is now, man, after coming out this post-pandemic. And a lot of jakes were ensnared, man, in that trap. And that Joe Biden crime bill was the one that snared their asses up and locked these jakes up in prison for like 20, 30, 40 years, you know. Jeremiah 5:26, as a cage full of birds, so are the houses full of deceit. Therefore, they are become great and waxen rich. And they make money off of our iniquity, man. So, like I was telling you, you go to them courthouses, man, it's nothing but Jakes up in them courthouses, man. Those the ones that's getting all the fines. Those the ones that's paying all these court fees. Those the ones that's going to these prisons, that's giving up their rights when they become a ward of a state. And then you pretty much enslaved to that state, man. They're gonna work you in there for 30 cents an hour. They're gonna make merchandise off your enslavement. Isaiah chapter 51 verse 20. Thy sons have fainted, they lie at the head of all the streets as a wild bull in a net. They are full of the fury of the Lord, the rebuke of thy God. And through the welfare system, through taking the man out of the house, all these things have created our young men just being like wild bulls, man, because they have nobody to guide them, especially in the household, man. A woman can't guide that young man once he come into them teenage years, man. Once he start to come into starts coming into adolescence, you know. And once there's no father in the house, man, he's gonna go astray. He's got to have that one to take him to that next level, man. A lot of women think they can do it without a man, that they can raise a man without a man. But that child is going to be incomplete in a lot of ways, man. He might look like a man on the outside, but there's a lot of things on the inside that's going to be missing, and he's going to be behind the 8 ball trying to catch up and learn these things as he goes through life. A lot of times, most of them they get knocked off before then, because either the drug culture is the gang culture is going to pretty much snatch them in, it's going to ensnare them, or other devices set out there for them because they have nobody to guide them. But you notice Esau, Edom, and them, you know, they make sure that their family's not broken up, but the curses are reversing. The majority of them, they always make sure their family's not broken up so that father can be there to guide that child, especially that young man, into adulthood, man. Psalms chapter 91, verse 3. Surely he shall deliver thee from the snare of the fowler and from the noisome pestilence. It's many times, man, you know, during my past, you know, before I came into this truth, especially in my younger years, man, I did some shit that probably should have got me hemmed up in a lot of things, man. But I know I had an angel over me that pretty much guided my walk and helped me to navigate through a lot of those situations, man, from getting caught up, from getting ensnared into, being a drug addict, you know, because we came up at that time when weed was popular and cocaine was popular. You know, they came out with the Scarface movies and you know, show him just sniffing up a whole lot of yayo and just rising to the top, man. And they fed a lot of our people that dream during that time, especially a lot of these young Jakes during that time whose minds were impressionable, man. They pushed that image on our young men, you know. What's another one? New Jack City. A lot of those movies that came out, man. Colors. All those things was to help ensnare our people, to push us in that trap so they can push us in those prison houses, man. And a lot of our Jakes to this day, man, are still doing major numbers, man, for shit that they did early in the 90s, man. They still in there and got plenty of time in the 80s. And Jake goes off, you know, and it's designed for them to be locked up in there. You know, Lord set it up that way. Like I said, I was able to navigate my way out of those situations, man, out of the belly of the beast. And here I am today, man, thanks to the Most High Power, man. It wasn't anything that I'd done, because many times I look back, man, I could have either been dead or I could have been doing some serious time, man, from, you know, making bad choices and putting myself in bad situations, man. But at that time, I didn't know this truth, man. And Lord, and he took account of that. You know, he took account of our people, because before you come in this truth, and he's already had his hand over you, he's going to look out for you, man. But you gotta make that effort, man, to want to do right, man. When you're in a wicked world where all it does is kind of to try to lure you to through your flesh, man, to give in to your wants, and it puts you, and that leaves you defenseless, man, in this wicked world, man. They want you defenseless. They want you to get caught out there where they can have you in a situation where they can take control of it. So if you go out here and you leave yourself defenseless, and you're just hanging with the wrong people and making bad decisions, then you keep doing that, you're gonna get caught up. Eventually, it's gonna catch up with you. Just like you see a lot of these hunters where they have like what they call a food plot. They're set out in the field, a place where they have like free food. They put corn and stuff out there for the deer to come get. So the deer come up there, unwillingly, totally defenseless, free corn, and they get to eating. And the whole time you got a hunter sitting back in what they call a blind, or either up in the tree stand where the deer can't see them, and just waiting for the deer to come out there, because the deer has put away all this situational awareness, and all he's thinking about is just eating. And then he makes an easy target for the hunter to make his kill. And same way with you, Jace, man. They put these situations before you, man, where it seems like it's an easy ticket, and all they do is wait for their opportunity. They come out there, then they snatch you up and put you in prison if you don't get killed, if you don't have other Jakes that's going to kill you in the meantime, man. Romans chapter 11, verse 9. And David saith, let their table be made a snare and a trap, and a stumbling block and a recompense unto them. So you have a lot of people, man, in our that's in our Israelite world, man, that they wicked, and they lay, they try to they're really not there on the best interest of trying to help other Jakes, man. And the Lord, He's got them pretty much in those positions to be a stumbling block to the 2/3, man. And that has not been called, man. And they're going to be destroyed in the end when the Lord comes back. Revelation chapter 13, verse 14. And deceiveth them that dwell on the earth by the means of those miracles which he had power to do in the sight of the beast, saying to them that dwell on the earth that they should make an image to the beast, which had the wound by a sword and did live. And he had power to give life unto the image of the beast, that the image of the beast should both speak and cause that as many as would not worship the image of the beast should be killed. So we're approaching that time now, man, and right now they're coming out this all type of new technology. Elon Musk is coming out with the device that's going to be a brain implant. That these things sounds intriguing to a lot of our people. To think that you can have something put in your brain that you can use that and be able to do a lot of things that you normally wouldn't be able to do. Be able to turn on the TV just by thinking about it. These things going to intrigue it's going to intrigue you, man, and make you say, oh man, that's something I wouldn't mind trying, because of the convenience, man. It's going to make things a lot more convenient. And those things that they're going to use to entrap you to taking that MOTV. See, a lot of these devices say they can be able to make people be able to see. Some of these devices that come up now that they're implanting in you going to make you be able to walk, going to make you much more smarter, where a lawyer can just pull up all types of things out the law book, and it's going to be automatically in their head, So all these things are intriguing, but at the same time, it's like that monkey trap. You see it, it's not, it's a possibility you might get caught, but you're going to go after it anyhow. And you can stick your hand in there and get a hold of it, and you're not going to turn it loose. And same thing once you take that MOTB, it's no taking it back out, man. There's no repenting or anything. I don't care whether any of these camps that tell you that you can take the MOTB or that C-hip, that you're going to be able to repent or have it removed and you're going to be okay. Not those say the Lord, man. And he tells you in Revelation, man, once you take that, that means you bow down to the beast, man. That means you showed your allegiance and you picked a side, man. So when the Lord comes back, surely during that time, man, you're going to be destroyed. That's going to be a lot of our people because they're going to give in the way because they follow after this devil, man. They follow after Esau, Edom. He's going to make opportunities where, probably gonna come up ways that you take this C-hip, a lot of your debt is going to be taken away, or either we're going to, they may even give you what they call like a stimulus and use that as a trap to make you go there and take that C-hip. This devil, man, he thinks things well out, so he always pre-planning what he's going to do. He's a forward thinker, and he's doing that on the left-hand side. That's where he comes up with a lot of these things, man. He's very crafty in what he do. So you're going to have a lot of our entertainers and a lot of these people, influencers, they're going to put them out ahead of this thing, and you see them doing it now. They're already trying to lure you into that digital currency system, man. And that's one step closer to leading you to that C-hip. So we got to be very circumspect during these times, man, and watch how these things line up with the prophecy, man, mainly in Revelation and in not only in Revelations, but when you go back to the prophet Daniel. So these are very prophetic times that we're in. Going to go to Book of Revelation, chapter 17, verse 4. And the woman was arrayed in purple and scarlet color, and decked with gold and precious stones and pearls, having a golden cup in her hand full of abominations and filthiness of her fornication. Now, who's that woman that they're talking about that's riding on top of the beast? Now, the beast itself is the whole EU system, man. The whole NATO system that they have, those countries. And that woman that's sitting on top of the beast that's riding that beast is talking about here, Babylon the Great, America. It's talking about right here and now. And she has the cup full of abominations. What are them abominations? Right now, we're in the middle of what they call Pride Month, man. And you heard the president the other day, it's Pride years. It's 365 days a year of pride for that abominable act, man. They done took the Lord's rainbow, which he gave us as a sign to show that he wasn't going to destroy the earth no more by water. But he is going to destroy it again by fire, though. But they took what the Lord has and took that shit and used it to put over their filthy, vile acts, man, that they do. And they flaunt it proudly, man, because they proud about that shit. They cut all out in the open with it. Not only are they in the open with it, but they're trying to force it on the people, mainly our people. They're doing the conditioning now on the young, impressionable minds of these young kids, man, in these schools, man. Revelation chapter 13, verse 16. And he causeth all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hand or in their foreheads. So pay attention. What Elon Musk, and not only him with the Neuralink, but there's other companies out now, they're all racing to see who's going to be first to come up with that digital implant that's going to be inside your head, man. And I don't think it's just going to stop with these people who need it for different infirmities or things. Like, it's not going to stop there. It's going to continue on till they want to have everybody chipped. Everybody's going to have that C-hip. You got to be careful how you talk, so shalaki on that. But the C-hip, everybody's going to have that C-hip in order to be able to buy or sell. It's going to be mandatory, and they're going to push it on the people, man. Same thing they did with that juice, and that was just a precursor to this, man. They just used that to see how many people were going to give in, how many people that were not going to take it, and it pretty much came out like 2/3 of the people went and got that juice, man. They made it mandatory. for you to be able to work or be able to go out and do certain things, man. And we see the results of that. You know, you got to be circumspect. Pay attention to the news. People falling out and having cardiac arrest, or what they call sudden cardiac distress, something of that nature, where people just dying all of a sudden, man, from that venom juice, man, that they put inside their bodies. People never had heart problems before, and I know some people, and they're not here now, man. Right now they're up before the Father, man. They're up in the heavens. Let me go back over that again. Revelation chapter 13, verse 16. And he causeth all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hand or in their foreheads, and that no man may buy or sell save he that had the mark or the name of the beast or the number of his name. So they easily conditioning you to go into the that digital system, man. They easily trying to get force you out of using cash, man. Pretty soon everything else is going to shut its doors, like it did over in some place in Africa where they already started the digital system, and the people didn't sign up for it, so they made it so that they couldn't able to go to the stores until they came in and got that CHIP. And once they got that CHIP, they allowed them to go back on with their life again. The same way they're going to put that pressure on our people here. And they trying in a lot of these places. I think Jamaica's another place too, where they going into a digital system. It's lucky what I just said in Africa. It's not, they're not getting the CHIP, but they're going into a digital system. And they can work that digital system now. I think they got one coming here where they already supposed to start in July, where they call Fed Now, where the Fed going to take over. They're going to put a digital system in. It's going to probably be maybe a few months before it goes totally in full effect. But they're already conditioning us to prepare ourselves to do away with cash or spending cash, and everything's going to be digitalized. Once they digitalize everything, you're going to be totally under their control. They can shut your system off for any reasons, man. Just because you said something they don't like, or any reason, they can pretty much shut your system down. But with cash, you know, you have a little more freedom. They want total control, and that's the main thing about coming up with that charagma, man. They want to have total control of you. Just like you brand cattle out here, or what they call goyim. It's like you brand them and show that you belong to them. They belong to you. Same way they're going to brand you with that CHIP, man, with that charagma. That shows that you belong to these devils, man. And we're not just talking about any devil. We're talking about the top elite that's out here, man. These top elite families, man. Right now, the true kings of the earth, but those are the ones that, you know, they're not out front. These other ones, the presidents that we have, or kings of the earth right now, that you do know of, those are just puppet leaders that they put in place to do the bidding and the agenda of these upper elites, man, these banksters. The ones that run these pharmacy companies, the food industry. Those are the ones, man, that want to have total control of you. And how are they going to do it? By the monkey trap. With that, I pray this lesson was edifying. With that, on to the next. Shalom.